It's helping them remember that they have to have the balls to follow their vision. We get so emotionally invested. We get so emotionally invested in our people.
Most businesses aren't in a position to be sold even if they wanted to, right? Because, ultimately, a lot of times there's so much tribal knowledge, or, the founder or the founding team is really providing most of the value. And so, we like right now, our business is in a position to sell, but the way we're thinking is, how do we create it such that essentially this isn't the Andrew and Mike show, this is the Better Than Rich show, right? There's a reason we didn't brand it as Andrew, the Andrew Biggs and Mike Abramowitz show, and there's the reason why our company is structured the way it is. And if you build SOPs, you actually can, relieve yourself eventually when it's appropriate. So, I mean, this is really, again, right on the nose of what we love to talk about. I'm curious, with your consulting work, it sounds like, I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but what are some of the biggest problems that you like to solve specifically for in your consulting? And how does that, what are some things that you've learned from that?
The first is usually most companies have core values on their wall, but they don't reflect who they are or where they're going to the truest point. And I give an exercise because it's really easy. The best exercise I've ever learned for creating core values in a business works for your family and for yourself as well. And that's simply take a look at, it depends on the scale of the company. It changes the question. But if you take a look at the 5 people you fired that were the worst employees you've ever had, tell me their core values. And they tell you stories. Oh, this person was late. This person didn't care about other people's time. This person didn't get deliverables done. This person really was toxic, and they messed this up and they messed that up. And you start to hear these stories and you write them down, and then you reverse them. Because whatever this toxicity was that was in this person that you removed from your company, the antithesis of that is who your company needs to be. It's what your company's about. So we look at the negative. I had this conversation with my kids this week. We're doing Legato's system for core values for our family. Rich Christensen's phenomenal guy. And from me, instead of asking who we are, I ask who we aren't. And my kids come back to me. Well, we aren't cruel. We aren't mean. We aren't evil. We aren't. Okay, these are great things. I'm taking notes. Okay, we can distill all those down into, we're not bad. Okay, so that means we're good. Okay, how can we put that into a core value, right? It allows us to distill this in a way that really helps create direction. Because once you have the core values solidified, the next step is always to look at the vision, to be practical and reasonable. It's good to have a BHAG and have all these ideas. I'm going to, make $100 billion. Okay, that's fine, but let's be reasonable and let's set really clear markers on a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month, 18, 24, 5-year goals, and then it's kind of helping keep them aligned with it. And trying to look for areas that they're going to be blind to because they're working so hard in their business with the annoying client, with the employee problem, with the whatever it is. We all have the same problems. It's and then sometimes it's helping them remember that they have to have the balls to follow their vision. We get so emotionally invested. We get so emotionally invested in our people. I was at a room of 700 entrepreneurs and EO event in DC 2 years ago, when a gentleman stood up on stage and he asked every CEO, he said, how many of you guys have ever fired someone too soon? And not one hand was raised, but it's really hard to remember. And when you have someone like me behind you, let's say you guys have 10 employees and we decide to work together. And I was like, hey, I'm happy to help. And here's how it's going to work. And we meet every month, and basically it's a board meeting. You update me on what's happening. I update you on what my experiences are in those areas. And you mention the same employee for 3 months. 3 months, you talk about your frustrations. My barometer is always, if I go home from the office and the first thing I mention to my wife is this person that's annoying me, or there's a problem with, it's already gone too far. Fire them. They're gone, right? If it's coming in between my relationship with my wife, it's already gone too far. And dude, the number of times that I've failed at this is embarrassing. So I look at my failures and I just try to find ways to help other people not make the same mistakes.